Hi, welcome. My name is Adam to the Fight and Fantasy playlist, and in this episode, we're talking all about the Siege of Sardath. The Siege of Sardath is book 49 in the series, and it was written in 1992 by Keith P. Phillips. The cover illustration was done by Les Edwards, and the internal work was done by Pete Nifton. I'm sorry, which I'm mispronouncing that. And the internal pictures are really interesting and fun. I mean, every single one is interesting to look at, you know. The front cover as well, look at that. I mean, you've got this vampire dude here, and look at that on there, he's got some sort of claw hand. And his arm up here looks like mountains here that surround his castle. And this book is a real fun read. A real interesting, and it reminds me so much of the Game of Thrones. You know, the sort of at the wall when they have that big battle with the giants. It really does remind me of that story, that line from the Game of Thrones series. But let's find out what this story is about. Let's have a read on the inside. So it says, the Forest of Night in the wild northeast of Alancia is a place where mankind and nature live in fragile harmony. But now a new and unknown enemy has appeared to threaten the whole balance of the region. Strange and terrible creatures stalk the forest, and the ancient elf paths are now closed to travelers. No news of events in the distant city of Sardath has come through the Forest of Night for weeks. In the isolated town of Grimond, on the very edge of the looming forest, the townspeople can bear it no longer. The council has met and the decision has been taken. Some brave adventurer, you, must journey into the forest tonight and beyond to find the source of the evil and how to defeat it. So, it's an adventure that takes you across like mountains, across the forest, across caves, all to this dude here, and you must battle him and free. And it's a real fun adventure read. It had me going all the way through. I did die halfway through, you know, as I always do. I didn't complete this, but I definitely will be going back to it. All the illustrations inside are really fun. The book is really fun. In fact, my copy of the book is a little bit weird, in the fact that if you look at the book here, it's got like extra space at the bottom of each page. Now, I don't know if this is true for every copy, but other adventure books in the series didn't have this, okay? And the top bit is very close to the writing in the book. Usually there is more space than that, and it was more evident when I looked at the introduction pages. Let me flick to them, because everything's really close to the top. The writing on the page and where it says combat there, it's all very close. So the cutting of this book when it was printed is slightly off. Now, I don't know if this is true of everyone's copy of this book. I know that this is a second copy or a second printed run of this book, even though inside it indicates it as a first edition. But I know that this isn't the first run of books, because if you go to a Wikipedia page, it says in the first edition that one of the entries, 355, has 3 options if you've got a first edition. And I go to 355 in my book, and it says that there is only 2 options that you can choose from. Okay, so I know that this is a reprint, not the first edition. But when you look inside, it does actually note first published, and it doesn't have any other numbers there to show that it's a reprint. So I don't know, but it's a real fun book. I originally thought it was a part of the Vault of the Vampire series, but it's not. It's not even a prequel or anything. Not connected completely. It is set in the same land, I believe, as that was, but it's nothing to do with them series of books. But it does have a very interesting sheet inside, adventure sheet. If you look at the adventure sheet here, it's got the days that you've got to track, and it's got like bow and arrows that you have, bundles of herbs. So it's got like extra information that you have to keep track on, and your adventure sheet is kind of expanded, and it's kind of nifty. That it makes you really do feel like you're an adventurer on travels when you have to go, right, it's Storm's Day today instead of like Monday or something, you know. So a real interesting read. I would recommend getting it if it, you know, you you want to collect all the books. I mean, you must if you want to collect all the books, but it's a real interesting book as well. I definitely would be going back to it. I heartily recommend it. And that's it for this week. Let me know in the comments about the cutting of the book. Have you got a copy that's exactly like that, where the cut of the book is slightly off? How did you fare in the book? Let me know, your thoughts in the comments. And in next week's video is a really good one. We return to Firetop Mountain in the sequel to the Warlock of Firetop Mountain in book 50. Okay, guys? So thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you next week, guys. Bye-bye.